Hey everyone, I'm going to be showing y'all how to code this QR code component using HTML and SCSS, other known as SAS. To get the zip folder that you're going to need, you're going to go to frontendmentor.io and then go to challenges and look for the QR code component. It's free and it's a level 1 challenge. After you download the zip folder, you're going to want to locate it in your downloads and then extract it to a folder where you contain your projects. After that, you're going to want to open it up on Visual Studio Code. You go to Open Folder, and then you locate the folder. We're going to want to delete these two README files. We're not going to need them. We have the index.html, which is going to have all the text we need. And we can also get rid of some stuff we don't need, like this style and this attribution div. We have the images we need, as well as the design for the desktop and mobile. Since this is a component, the size of the component is going to stay the same, and it's not going to be responsive. We also have, most importantly, the style guide, which has all the colors and the typography we're going to need. Before I begin, I'm going to need to use these extensions. I'll show them to you. Live server. Live server launches a local development server with the live reload feature for static and dynamic pages. Basically, it allows me to open up my index.html file, and every time I make changes and I save it on the code editor, the changes are going to appear live. We also need SAS compiler, which is going to compile our SCSS files into CSS files that we can then link to the HTML file. So to begin, I'm going to open up a terminal and switch to Git. I'm going to make a styles directory. After that, I'm going to cd into the directory and create our style.scss file. And I'm going to start the SAS compiler. It's going to be down here. It's called watch SAS. Every time I save this file, we're going to have a CSS and css.map file. I'm actually going to link this to the HTML. And we link the CSS file, not the SCSS. Now we're going to create the variables we need. I'm going to start with the colors first and give them appropriate names. Also going to get the font size and the weights. And lastly, I'm going to need the font family. So I'm going to open up the Google Fonts where that's located. We're going to need the 400 and the 700 weight. So we're going to grab those. Then we're going to copy this. Take this back to the index.html file. Paste it up here. And then I need to get the font family name. And then take that to the SAS file. Okay. Looking at our design, we're going to need to have a flexbox in the body because this card component is centered in the middle, and we're going to give it a background color. But before that, I'm going to make sure every element has a box sizing of border box. The margin is going to be set to 0 pixels, and the padding is going to be set to 0 pixels. That is because HTML elements come with their own margin and padding, and with this we're able to get rid of it, and the box sizing allows us to have the padding and the width be calculated inside the width of the object. Okay, so we're going to then move on to the body. That's going to have a background color of light gray. Our width is going to be 100%. The reason we use 100% is 100 visual width is going to cause an overflow in the X direction. The reason it does that is it calculates the scroll bar. And we are going to need flexbox. We're going to set up flexbox with display flex, and it's going to be right in the center. So we're going to have align item center and justify content center. Next, we're going to need a container for the QR code component, and we're going to move everything inside of there. Now this container, just by looking at it, it's going to have a border radius and a background color and some padding. So let's get that set up. The width is going to be 350 pixels. The padding is going to be 25 pixels. The background color is going to be white. And the border radius is going to be 20 pixels. I believe this is it. Next, we need the image. So I'm going to create an image tag. And I'm going to get the image we need. The alt's going to be QR code. Now for the image styling, the height and width are going to be 300 pixels each because it's a square, and it also has a border radius of 20 pixels. The reason we're using 300 is because the width is 350. We have padding on the left as 25 and on the right as 25. So if we take a look, actually we need to use live server to take a look. So let's start live server. We need to go to the index.html file and then click live server. Looks good. Now I'm going to put the text into their respective paragraph elements. Next, I'm going to make sure I have the font size and family set up. We have the bigger weight for text 1, so this is going to be font weight 2. And we also have the dark color, so this is going to be dark blue. And for text 2, the color is going to be light blue, font weight of 1. And we're going to give them some margin of 25 pixels so it's uniform with the entire component. And lastly, we need to center the text for them. We'll do that in the body. and we should be done with the QR code component. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for future videos.